All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we're going back to the OP10 leaders. We had to take a quick break for yesterday's video going over Purple Yellow Croc. That was a lot of fun. Be sure to check that out if you have not seen it already. That was a good time. But today we've got Red Purple Sugar lined up for today, right? Now tomorrow's video I believe will be Red Yellow Sabo. I'm just trying to keep to my schedule where after about every 7 to 8 days we have an update on Red Yellow Sabo. That will probably be geared more towards OP10, I'm not going to lie, but I'll try to at least maybe include some stuff from OP09 because people want to know what to play like at their next locals, right? But we'll address that in tomorrow's video. So that's tomorrow's video's Red Yellow Sabo update. After that is going to be Red Green Smoker. After that will be Red Blue Caesar Clown. And then we will have done all of the new OP10 leaders, dedicating a video to each one. And of course, you know, after that, I'll probably try to do some kind of tier list video, maybe, telling you guys what I think of the new leaders. Maybe not a full tier list, but what I think of the new leaders in a tier list, if that makes sense. You know, going off like the new results that have come out from the East after the first month or so, and just my testing on the sim and just piloting each deck and what I think about them. Okay, we'll see about that. If enough people are interested, we will do that. Otherwise, we'll just get back to the normal grind. But okay, let's do this, guys. Let's start getting into the video today. So let me break it down for y'all. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to check out the deck list that we're going to be running for today's video. And then we're going to go over to the sim, check out 5 games on the sim. We got a game against, today we got a game against Usopp, Blue-Black Usopp, Boa Hancock, Green-Yellow Law, Red Sanji, and Yellow Kid. So we got some pretty cool games lined up for today. And after that, we will finish out the video by talking about the deck list one more time and, you know, just kind of wrapping things up in that way. I'll give you guys my final thoughts on it. Maybe we'll move some cards around and talk about things. Okay, so you know what you're getting into. I'll have everything timestamped in the general description. I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and things like that in the comment section below. And yeah, guys, if you ever have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below or hop on the VV Theory Discord. We're talking about One Piece 24/7 on there. One more thing before we dive into this. Stream tonight, guys. We have a stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night now, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern. So it ends up being almost 10 hours of extra content every single week. Okay, and sometimes the streams run a little long where it ends up being a 4-hour stream. So like I said, it's about 10 extra hours of content every week, every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on YouTube. I should specify, not on Twitch, on YouTube for 3 hours at a time from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Okay? Check us out on there. It's been really fun, guys. It's a really good way for me to be able to interact with people live while they watch me play the game. Okay? All right, now let's get into this video. Cannot wait to show you guys this leader. It was so much better than I thought. That's all I'm going to say. I could not believe how good this leader actually was after playing it and giving it some time on the sim. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out the deck list. Let me get the leader out of the way, move this out of the way. There we go. So real quick, I did not make this list. This is a copy-paste list from the East. But I do have a list we're going to show for the final 2 games. So let me say this real quick. Spoiler warning. The first 3 games we go over today will be with this list. The last 2 will be with a bonus list. A little bit of a fun, janky deck that could have some potential. We'll see. Who knows? We'll have to see as we get there. But yeah, for today's video, the first 3 games, we are going to be focusing on this list. And I do think this list is slightly better than what I was kind of goofing off with that we'll see later. So real quick, guys, I'm going to go over what the leader does, and we're going to break down the cards and then dive into the games. So this is the new leader. It is a red-purple, 5,000 power, 4-life Don Quixote Pirates type leader. The effect it has 2 different effects, and they are both very relevant. End of your turn, if you have a character with Don Quixote Pirates type with a power of 6,000 or more, set up to one of your Dawn cards as active. Okay, seems good to me, right? Seems pretty good. We can get an active Dawn and use some of these one-cost events, right? Stuff like this. Where's Blast Breath, and this we'll talk about in a minute. Okay, then it has a second effect. It has a second effect. On your opponent's turn, once per turn, when you activate an event, set up to one of your Dawn cards from your Dawn deck as active. You're going to ramp a Dawn from your Dawn deck. Okay, it's not like you're going to set a Dawn as active that you already have. No. If you play out a one-cost event, let's just use Rad Beam as an example. Okay, ramp a Dawn active. Seems pretty good, right? Seems pretty good, and we'll talk more about that as the video goes on. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the new cards that came out. We're not going to talk about Shanks. We know what this does. Goldie Roger, Radical Beam. We know what a lot of these do, but let's go ahead and go over. There's quite a few new cards we have to talk about. Viola, this is a new 3-cost, 4,000 power, 1k counter blocker with on KO, Dawn -1. excuse me, Dawn -1, if your leader type includes Don Quixote Pirates, which ours does, add up to 1 purple event card from your trash to your hand. Now, this is a leader lock or type locked type of effect, but it's still very, very powerful, right? This is a very powerful effect, and it's a 3-cost 4K blocker with a 1K counter. There's not really a whole lot of downside. We'll take it every time. And as soon as it gets KO'd, so it blocks, stops an attack on KO, grab a purple event from your trash to your hand. Seems good. And remember, guys, for Dawn -1, or actually don't remember, you don't know yet, I don't think, but there's another effect here. Let me see, I think it's this one. No, this isn't what I was thinking of. I can't remember what it was. I might be thinking of something else, but the bottom line is this. That Dawn -1 ends up not really hurting us because of an effect like we'll see in the 8-cost Doflamingo. It kind of like ramps the Dawn back for us. Okay? Next, we have Sugar. This is basically the new Jewelry Bonnie style searcher for Don Quixote Pirates. It is a 1-cost, 1,000 power, 1K counter, activate main, rest 1 of your Dawn and this character. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 card with the Don Quixote Pirates type and add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So now we have a purple and a green Don Quixote Pirates searcher, right? If I'm understanding this correctly, this is just like the Baby 5, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe we have to check out green purple Dofi again very soon, right? Let me read this one more time. Activate main, rest 1 of your Dawn and this character. Top 5 search, reveal up to 1 Don Quixote Pirates type and add it to your hand. Yeah, seems pretty good, guys. We'll have to check that out with Baby 5. This is the card I'm talking about, guys. Let me just make sure everybody knows what I'm saying. Not this Baby 5. We'll talk about that one in a minute. This one. Yep, activate main, pay 1, rest this character, top 5 search for a Don Quixote Pirates type. So now we're going to have access to this and Sugar in green-purple Dofi. We will be revisiting that leader before you know it. All right, let me take off the green cards and take this off. Should go back to where we had it. There we go. Now, next up is a 2K counter, Giola. This is a 2-cost, 2,000 power, 2K counter. That's the main thing. I'm just going to be honest. It's a purple Don Quixote Pirates searchable 2K counter. The effect is not terrible, but it's also not something you should probably just be trying to throw out unless you're maybe going against Doflamingo. I don't know. It's hard to say because they can just bounce it back anyway, right? But the effect is on your when opponent attacks once per turn, you may rest 2 of your Dawn cards and rest 1 of their 4-cost or lower characters. It's not terrible. Again, it's not a terrible effect, but it's not super practical, I think, in the current meta. Because even if you're going against like green, yellow, law, they're probably going to have a lot of 5-cost characters you'd rather worry about, and their 4-cost characters are stuff like Basil Hawkins. Like, okay, if we rest that, we don't want to attack into that anyway. So I guess it still would save us an attack, you know what I mean? It's not a terrible card, like I said, but it's also just mainly a 2K counter. Okay, this next card, make sure you understand what this card does. It is Senior Pink. He is a 5-cost, 6,000 power, no counter, which hurts sometimes. Sometimes that does hurt, I'm not going to lie. But it's a 5-cost 6K. It has an on-play Dawn -1. Add up to 1 purple event card with a cost of 5 or less from your trash to your hand. Then set up to 1 of your Dawn cards as active. So you're going backwards in Dawn. That's not too big of a deal because this ends up being only like a 4-cost character because you're going to stand up when your Dawn is active after you grab a 5-cost or lower purple event from your trash, right? I wish it was not locked to a color. I will say I wish this was not locked to a color, but I do understand they do that for balance purposes. It's still a very strong card, guys. Do not misunderstand. But this really hurts the interaction that it has with something like purple-green Dofi. Right, where it's like, okay, I want this card in purple-green Dofi, I really do. But at the same time, I'll only be able to get back my purple events, and not all those are going to be things like Don Quixote Pirates, right? Like, look, in this deck, we're running Hell's Judgment. In this deck, we're running Nora Beam Sword. So it's a little bit frustrating, but it's still a very, very powerful card, and you'll see it in action, I think, quite a few times in today's video. Next up are these next two are pretty much the stars of the show here. I'm going to read Rosinante first, then go back to Doflamingo. So this is a 5-cost 6K Rosinante, 1K counter. On play, trash an event, and draw 2 cards. That effect is very powerful because remember what we just saw with Senior Pink. Okay, I can grab back events from my trash and stand a Dawn as active. It ends up being like a 4-Dawn play, right? Very, very powerful. So it's not even a total downside with what this card's doing, trashing an event from your hand. And it doesn't check what color the event is, which is very irrelevant. We can trash other cards, something like Kamakura Jasushi here, Rad Beam, Divine Departure, whatever. We just have to trash an event card from our hand to draw 2 cards, which will also open up a lot of possibilities probably in the future for the EB02 Searcher. So, like, that is probably going to be very, very strong going forward. But whatever the case is, it also has another effect here. At the end of your turn, if you have 7 or more Dawn cards, set up to 2 of them as active. That end of your turn effect is absolutely insane for what we're trying to do, guys. Playing out 10 cost Shanks late game, being able to stand 2 Dawn and then another Dawn with your Sugar. This card and Senior Pink are like the cards you want to slam down when you can to get the extra value from your Sugar at the end of your turn, where you can stand a Dawn as active and use your 1 cost events and things like that. This card's incredible. What would what would make it even more incredible though is if we could cheat it out. Oh wait, we can. This 8 cost 9,000 power Doflamingo here, guys. It's 8 cost 9k, very well statted, just like Gecko Moria. On play, Dawn -1. Play up to 1 5 cost or lower Don Quixote Pirates type character card from your hand. So the ideal play is play this out, throw down the Rosinante, trash an event to draw 2 cards, and then now you're going to be able to stand up 3 Dawn at the end of your turn from this effect and from Sugar. And also, you have on opponent's turn, once per turn, you may rest 1 of your Dawn and add up to 1 active Dawn from your Dawn deck. So even though you went down 1 Dawn to cheat this character out, no big deal. You're going to get the Dawn right back, and it's going to come back active anyway because you're going to rest 1 Dawn and get an active Dawn back with this character's effect. It is a match made in heaven. Very, very powerful effect here. And again, guys, an 8 cost 9k is a lot to deal with. Okay, and the last major card we have to talk about, we are going to talk about a few others, but this is the last of the character cards here. 3 cost, 1,000 power, 2k counter. On play, discard a card from your hand and ramp a Dawn if your leader's Don Quixote Pirates. This card is awesome, and how do I say this? An immediate change I'll probably be making to the deck after we're all done with it is I will probably go up to 4 of these, because I really liked this idea of just using my leader effect to ramp Dawn with cards like Rad Beam early on, cards like Divine Departure, cards like we're going to talk about this one in a minute, like this card as well. And yeah, I would just rather ramp really quickly and just start dropping Shanks on my opponent, dropping Dofies, dropping Shanks on my opponent, and just running them over. It seemed very good. We'll talk about that more as we go get into it. Okay, we know what Radical Beam is. Now, this is a new card as well. We actually have 3 more cards to go over that are new cards, all from OP10, guys. It is Kamakura Jutsushi, Divine Departure, and I can never forgive anyone who laughs at my family. This card right here, guys, brings back so much nostalgia for me, by the way, for another game I used to play called Legend of the 5 Rings. There was a character called Bayushi Jutsushi, and when I read that card, it just makes me want to, just shed a little tear for back in the day. That was one of the best characters I had in my deck, Bayushi Jutsushi. It was so good. Anyway, all right, back to One Piece. Sorry, guys, had a the nostalgia moment there. But this card is very, very strong. This is a 2 cost. It is a Punk Hazard Don Quixote Pirate searchable card, by the way. It is a red 2 cost counter. Choose up to 1 of your leaders or characters. It gains plus 3,000 power during this battle. And then afterwards, 1 of your opponent's leaders or characters gets minus 2,000 power during this turn. So it's for the rest of the turn for that minus effect. Very, very powerful. It's a 5,000 point swing for 2 Dawn. The last time I think we saw something like this was from Ikaku Sovereignty, the yellow card. It was in a little bit of a different way, but still the same idea. And then the trigger is just a great, plus 1,000 to your leader for the whole turn. So it's a very nice new event for us in Don Quixote Pirates for Sugar. Divine Departure. This card is stacked. It is so incredible. This card is just so good, guys. I absolutely love this card. I've said it before. This is basically my favorite new card in the entire set, alongside the 7 cost 9k Trafalgar Law. 1 cost, main, pay 5, so 6 Dawn to pop an 8,000 power character or less. I wish it was a 10,000 power character, but hey, I'm not going to get too greedy. Hey, pay 6, pop an 8, not too bad. And then counter, just for 1 cost for a counter, choose up to 1 of your leader or characters. It gains plus 3,000 power during this battle. Now, I do think I remember hearing something that it can only hit leaders, guys. I do want to bring that up real quick. Y'all bear with me. That's why you have to be very careful with the translations on the sim, guys, and on other, let me bring this over real quick. Make sure you guys can see this. It is incorrectly translated on the sim. I don't know if it might work properly on the sim, but the actual card translation is not correct. Divine Departure is a counter up to 1 of your leaders gains plus 3,000 power during this battle, not your leaders or characters. I think my buddy Richard brought that to my attention the other day. So that is he said something on the Discord. That's why it's also going to be on the Discord, guys. You might hear a random, like, tidbit, a random, like, nugget of knowledge, right? A fun fact of the day where it's like, oh, wait a minute. Because notice, guys, on here it says choose up to one of your leader or characters. It gains plus 3,000 power. It is only supposed to be leader. And I don't know if it works like that in the sim. I've not tested that to my knowledge, or maybe I didn't know, but just so you guys know. All right, and then last but not least, we do have this card here. I can never forgive anyone who laughs at my family. This is a one-cost card here. It is a one-cost event, main or counter, and it is a top 3 searcher. It says, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Don Quixote Pirates type card other than this card, and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. This card is absolutely incredible for what we're trying to do. Look at this, Riot Games is trying to come up right now, guys. What's happening? We might, hang on, guys. Yep, all right, we'll let it run its thing real quick. Sorry about that. Pardon the interruption there. Riot Games trying to take over my computer. I played League of Legends for so many years, guys. It's just a fun game. I'm not good at it. Don't get any misunderstandings there. Valorant, though, and League of Legends, absolutely love those games. Okay, now back to One Piece. This card is absolutely incredible for what we're trying to do because you're not going to play it on your main. If you play it on your activate main, you're making a mistake unless there's some type of Dawn situation where you have to do things in a certain order. Because you want to say, okay, your turn, pass turn with 1 Dawn up, right? They swing in for whatever. Okay, I'm going to pay 1. And I'm going to do a top 3 search. Okay, well, why does that matter? Why wouldn't I just do that during my activate main? Remember what this does, guys? On my opponent's turn, once per turn, if I play an event, I ramp a Dawn. So this card actually says pay 1, top 3 search, ramp a Dawn is active. Seems good to me, guys. This card is very, very powerful. We know what Blast Breath does. We know what Hell's Judgment does. Jet Gatling, Rad Beam, and the rest. Some people might not know what this card does. It's a little less used, but listen to what this card does, guys. 2 cost, Noro Beam Sword. It's a Foxy Pirates card. It's not Big Mom. It's Big Mom Pirates. It's not Don Quixote Pirates searchable, but listen to what it does, guys. Counter Dawn -1. It gives your leader plus 2,000 power until the for the battle, and then rest up to one of your opponent's characters. That is not a cost locked effect. Like, that does not go off of a cost. It is not locked to a cost. You can rest any character. So it could be a 10 cost character, doesn't matter. You can rest it with this card's effect, and the trigger can ramp you a Dawn as active. Very, very powerful card for this deck. I really do like this card. Great deck choice. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into these games, guys. And enough yapping. We'll talk more about this at the end, and I'll show off the other deck list at the end. We got I don't know how to say it. We got some bonus material at the end. I was messing with another version of Red Purple Sugar for the last 2 games, and we'll talk about that more as we get into it. Okay, volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. We got it. The first game is going to be against Usopp. Okay, a game against Usopp to start, and this is a very popular leader on the ladder right now, or on the sim, rather. And it's kind of one of those leaders that's like, okay, I want to play against other things too, guys. Can someone play something else? Why isn't this thing going away? There we go. It's like, guys, please play something else. I want to try against other leaders. So they play out a Leo. They're going second. We play out Sugar. We're probably going to rest that down now, do a top search. Very nice. I really wanted to get that event searcher there, but I'd rather get the 5 cost Rosinante. That card is good, guys. That card is just straight up good. Okay, going to pass the turn. He's probably going to swing 2 into this card. And I cannot protect it, and there's no reason to. It's going to get KO'd by either that attack or by the Usopp leader attack. They're going to play out a Rebecca. They could have even swung into it with Rebecca, guys. That would have been terrible. Okay, they're going to swing it for 5. We do take that. We get we got a Divine Departure from our life. And here we go, guys. Now we have, we're on our 5 Dawn turn now. We can finally just kind of slam down this card right here, the Rosinante. Rosinante will not be able to stand up his effect because you have to have 7 or more Dawn in order to get his in-turn effect. But once you're at that point, it becomes very hard for your opponent to deal with. So, all right, we swung in for 5. I think they countered out. They're going to play out a Sabo now, fix their card, play out the Leo, resting their stage, doing a top 5 search for 2 cards they need. They'll trash a card after that. And now they're going to swing 5 at face. Okay, we're going to counter out with Divine Departure because it's going to ramp us a Dawn. That's the most relevant part about that. Now we're on 8 Dawn, and we're almost to that Shanks, guys. We're almost to Shanks here. We're going to play out a Rosinante, trashing the Blast Breath to do some shenanigans there. We're going to swing in for 7. We're going to swing in for 7 more, and now watch this. And by shenanigans, I mean trashing an event to draw 2 cards, guys. Swing for 7 more. Okay. And here we go. Let's see what happens. They're gonna use a blocker. Okay, and they're gonna 1K counter out to save that. You got it. Okay, now I'm gonna stand 2 Dawn with Rosinante, stand 2 more Dawn with the other Rosinante, and stand 1 Dawn with my leader's effect. I have 5 Dawn to work with right now. We are in a very good position. Okay, they're going to play out Rebecca. This is a pretty standard tempo play right here, I think. Yep, Kairos bouncing one of my Rosinantes, and then probably a forward cost Cavendish. Yeah, I was going to say that or a Zoro. Zoro would not have been as good because we have a 5 cost character, and that seems like it's somewhat of a weakness with the current list for Usopp. I think they need a way to reduce cost. Okay, we're going to tap down the Kairos and get out of this attack, guys. So, okay, so hear me out, guys. This is what just happened. They swung for 6,000 power into my 6,000 power body without attacking with their Kairos first. So we're going to Noro Beam Sword, and we're going to go plus 2,000, getting out of the attack, returning at dawn. That part's fine. And we are going to rest that Kairos. And then we ramp the dawn right back with our leader's effect. Okay, so we're in a very good spot. Now they have to pass. They don't want to swing with their blocker. Very wise. But guess what? Now it's time to just start slamming 10 cost Shanks. Okay, we'll go 5 into 5. Now we'll go 6 into 5. Then we'll go 12 into 5. You're not saving it this time, I promise. Right? And guess what? In a turn, stand up 3 Dawn. Your turn. We have 3 life, by the way. We have 3 life here, guys. Okay, they do get a Cavendish. That is very, very strong in this situation. They'll swing 6 into 6 here. But let's see what happens. They're very fortunate that I don't have another Noro Beam Sword. We would have really punished them then. We're going to 2K counter to get out of that one. We do have a Blast Breath to get out of this potentially. Okay, and we're going to use that, and we ramp the Dawn right back, guys. All right, now they're going to play out Subaru. They're going to play out the Zoro. They're like, okay, this card's got to go. We're falling too far behind. I agree with them. They are falling too far behind. That is correct. Okay, so right here, let's see what happens. Okay, they're swinging for 5. I think I should just probably counter out or just take it and play out the Doflamingo plus Rosinante combo this turn. Nice, we got a Hell's Judgment there, and let's see what we do. It would be a little bit greedy to play out the Shanks, and it looks like we're not going to. We're going to go 7 into 5. He only has 2 cards. That card's gone. 12 and 8. That card should be gone as well. And here we go. Play out the Doflamingo. Dawn -1. Play out that guy. Trashing a card from my hand. I think we're going to trash the Kamakura Jasushi. And then we're going to draw 2 cards and stand up 3 Dawn at the end of my turn. He's going to go 12 into 15. Well, okay. We're going to go this card here. Hell's Judgment. -3. Whoops, I had a Dawn -1. -3 there. -3 there. Ramp a Dawn with my Doflamingo. Yeah, that's game. I ramped a Dawn with Doflamingo, ramped a Dawn with my leader effect, and we're back to 10 Dawn after using that Dawn -1. And at that point, what can he do? He can't even swing in with his leader, and we've got another Shanks coming in, guys, and I was not going to rush into him and try to whittle him down, or trying to like one-shot him. No, it's going to be going to the board for play out the Shanks, and it would be go 5 into the whatever his name is here, the Zoro, and then everything else would go into face after he finally loses that. Very strong lockdown control here, guys. I was very surprised at how well this deck was playing. All right, so that was against Blue-Black Usopp. Now we got a game versus Boa Hancock. I started this one. I almost forgot to hit the start, guys. So let me explain what happened. Turn 1, I played out Sugar. Turn 1, they played out Kaya. That's all you missed, okay? I almost forgot to hit play on this one. I was like, oh, no. Okay, but we got it. So that was all that was missed on turn 1. And now here we go. We're going to get the Sugar. We're going to tap that down, search for the 8-cost Doflamingo. We're going to swing for 6. We're going to leave 1 Dawn active. We're going to use that to use the No One Laughs at My Family. And then we let the card go, but we got to ramp a Dawn. We're up to 4 Dawn, and now we're up to 6. Okay, so right here, I think we might do Senior Pink is probably what we're going to do here. We'll swing for 6, play out the Senior Pink, return 1 Dawn, stand the Dawn as active, stand another Dawn as active, and now we have our event back to do more searching. They're going to swing in for 5. We're going to use the event. We're going to search up the... Very nice. We got the Rosinante. This is coming in for 5. I think we will 2K counter out of this just to get out of this attack. They use the Kaya. We'll be on 8 Dawn next turn for our Doflamingo. We're almost in cruise control, guys. Like, there comes a point where it's like, if you could slam down the Doflamingo on curve like that, ramping Dawn to get there, it becomes very hard for your opponent to keep up. Okay, they're going to bounce back a card with Law. We're not scared of that. Swing 5 into Trafalgar Law. Swing 6 into Trafalgar Law. Let's see if they want to save it. They took a counter to save it. But here's the thing. Dawn -1. Play out the Doflamingo. Dawn -1. Play out the Rosinante. Draw 2 cards after trashing an event. Use the effect. Stand up 3 Dawn. Your turn. This is a scary, scary position for my opponent. He is going to Red Rock, which is very nice, and it draws him a card with a leader effect. But we're not too scared about that right now. They swing in for 7. I think this is a good time to use use the Divine Departure, which will also get us out, which will also ramp us a Dawn. Now, this game, unfortunately, we did not have access to a very important card in the 10-cost Shanks. That would have been nice, but that's okay. We'll swing in for six. We'll swing in for 2 6s and a 7, and guess what? Rinse and repeat. Play out the Dofi. You'll trash the Rad Beam. Draw 2 cards. Your turn. Stand up 5 Dawn this time, guys. 5 Dawn. Whew. Okay, they're going to play out the 10-cost Kaido to bounce back our Dofi. Sure. Now they're going to use something here. I'm going to Noro Beam Sword to tap down one of their attackers because I want to devour this board this turn. We're going to use this card. We do a top 5 search. We could have gotten the other 5-cost Rosinante there. There definitely was an argument for that, but let's play this safe, guys. Let's play it safe. Okay, let's see what happens here. And we got the 5-cost Rosinante anyway. It might just be meant. It might, be meant to be, or however you say that. Okay, swing 7, swing 7, swing 7. It was 5, 6, 2 7s, and now guess what? Rinse and repeat again. We'll trash the Blast Breath because we have the Hell's Judgment, which is a little more valuable in this situation, I think. And we're standing up all our Dawn. We have 7 Dawn active. Your turn. Another Red Rock. They draw a card. They're going to 12 and a 6. Okay, so right here, guys, this is a little bit funny, but we're going to reduce the power there, and then we're also going to 2K to get out of it. Let's see what he does next. Swings 5 in the face. I think we'll just take this. Yeah, he plays out the Sengoku, and what is he going to do against this board? So now I have 4 6K bodies on the board, and you better believe we're coming in for 7s. Oh, we're going for 7, 9, 7, 7, 9. So it was, it was going to be 7, 9, 7, 7, 8, or something like that. You can just load everything up on one character if you want to, but I like to spread out the 7s. Like, I like having the good odd number math where you're 2 over the base power of the leader. It just eats so many cards from hand so efficiently. All right, we got one more game showing off this list, and I do highly recommend the list I'm showing off right now. But the next 2 games are a little more janky, a little more trolly. But they're going to be fun, though. We're going to have fun with them. Okay, the volume is off. The speed is on 2x. We got a game here against Green Yellow Trafalgar Law. This is another one you're seeing a lot on the ladder, guys. And I'll tell you this right now, the card to look out for Trafalgar Law, it got me a few times last night. 2 or 3 times it got me last night. Eustace Kid, the 8-cost Eustace Kid, that lost me like 3 or 4 games on just on the random sim last night for this leader. That is a very, very powerful interaction there, guys, with the 8-cost Kid. If they can get that down, they can really cycle through some blockers. Okay, we're going to swing for 5 there. They give us a 1K counter. Play out the Rosinante. We trash the Nora Beam, sort of draw 2 cards. We're just trying to dig a little bit deeper in the deck here. But we need some events for sure. Okay, let's see what they get here. They're going to play out the Jory Bonnie. It's going to lock down one of my Dawn. Not really a big deal. We're not too scared about that. We're not too upset about that. And then all they have left for this turn is swing 5, swing 6. Okay, yep, swing 5. We'll take that one. Very nice. We got an event there. We're going to probably 2K counter out. Actually, we're going to use that to ramp a Dawn. Use the Dawn, ramp it back, and now, we got out of that attack pretty easily. I think we should have used a 2K counter there, guys. I'm just going to be honest. I think that was a misplay. Okay, 5 and a 5. Let's see if he wants me to trash a life. Because if I'm just going to go 5 and 5 and then 6 and 5, it's up to him. Okay, I trash life. It's the Goldie Roger, a card I didn't get to use at all. But that's okay. We'll swing 6 into 5. He gives us a 2K counter. He gets to 7. Play out the Rosinante, and now we're going to get to stand up a bunch of cards at the end of this turn, guys. Stand up 5 cards, or 5 Dawn. It is his turn. We do have a Rad Beam. That's going to allow us, and we're at 2 life, by the way, so the Rad Beam will give us plus 4,000. For any of the new players out there, don't forget how Rad Beam works. For one, when you have more than 2 life, it's only a 2K counter. But if you have 2 or less life, it's a 4K counter. All right, let's see what happens next. He might try to go for my Rosinante. And I don't really have a big reason to save it. But if I think I can save it very effectively, like efficiently, then I probably will. 7 into 5. This guy's going for face right now, guys. He's going super aggressive. I'm going to Rad Beam to get out of that one. Ramp a Dawn. Now I'm going to be up to 10 next turn. And I could just slam Shanks on him. Just absolute windmill slam Shanks. Okay, they're going to do something with beige there to put the Zoro on top of their life. And let's see what they do now. They're going to swing for 6. We'll 2K counter out of that one. I don't want to go too low just yet. There's no reason. Okay, but they're going to swing for 6 more, and I don't have a good 2K counter. We might have to take this one. Okay. All right, not the end of the world, though. Okay, we have a few options here. I like the Shanks, but I also like Doflamingo into the Senior Pinks and getting back cards from my trash. That is another serious option. So we'll go 6 into 6 here. Let's see what he does. 6 more into 6. Let's see how bad he wants to save it. Okay, we'll play out Senior Pink. We're going to grab back a Noro Beam Sword. Standing a Dawn is active, and then we're going to play out Double Searcher. Or, excuse me, Double Blocker. Double Blocker, we're going to stand 5 Dawn is active, your turn. I have a Noro Beam Sword, so they can only attack with one of their characters this turn. They can swing with one, and then I'll Noro Beam Sword, like I said, drop down the other one. So that is a very powerful interaction, and guys, we just keep going wider and wider on the board. Those 3-cost 4K Viola blockers are nice, guys. They are really nice at this stage of the game. So we're going to use the Beam Sword here, plus 2, but I still have to counter out with a 1K. That's fine. We'll use the Rosinante, tapping down the other blocker there. We're going to take this one, very greedy, and let's see what happens. They're going to stand back a card, play out the Zoro, but it does not have Rush, guys, because I have less life than my opponent. That card does not have Rush. He's going to play out Cavendish, stand 2 Dawn. Let's see what happens next. We still have our 2 blockers, though, guys. We still have the 2 blockers. They're going to do a search with Bonnie. I didn't see what they got. And here we go. I think this is a pretty crazy game, if I remember correctly. Let me see. Or no, this is not the game I was thinking of. Never mind. I'm thinking of a game versus Eustace Kid that happened. Not even with Red Purple Luffy. Or Red Purple Sugar. Okay, swing 7. Swing 9. Let's see what he gives me. Okay. Well, now we're going to swing 5. And now we're going to swing for everything else. We're going to go 5. Again, each Dawn investment is taking 1 card out of hand. Okay, and then this final one will be for 10. They have to have 3 2K counters here or they lose. No other option will save them unless they had Dawn open for an event. And we were just able to eke out the victory there because next turn, I don't think we were surviving. However, we could still do a thought experiment and see what we could have done there. If we chose to not go all in, we could have, all right, swing out with the board here, everything into their board. Swing 5 into the Joy Bonnie. Then all 3 of these 6s right here go into their 6,000 power characters. But they still have 3 characters. Then we would have to return 2 Dawn again, like we did last time with the Senior Pinks, and go over 1 Senior Pink, grabbing back a purple event, a Noro Beam Sword, and then grab back another event with Senior Pink if I had one, maybe a Blast Breath. I think I had a Blast Breath in there. And then at that point, we would have 2 very powerful effects. We would get 3 Dawn at the end of the turn from the, because I think we'd have to replace the Senior Pink and one of the Rosinantes. Actually, excuse me, we would probably just replace Senior Pink with another Senior Pink, right? But then here's the thing, if we go about it that way, then they might try to take out my board. It's a tough situation. I think going for it there was actually the best option we had. I think it was the best option we had at winning. All right, now we got a different style deck here. Volume is off, speed's on 2x. We're going against Red Sanji. Notice my hand. Looks a little different this time, doesn't it? Looks a little bit different this game. We're going to slam down a Chopper and play out another Chopper. Now, we can't cheat anything out, but I think we do have 1 or 2 cards in our hand that we can cheat out. Or, excuse me, in the deck that can be cheated out. They're going to swing 5 into 4. Okay, sure, you can have it. I didn't want to save it there. That's fine. He plays out Zoro. He's going to attach a Dawn, give it Rush, swing for 7. We take it. Swing for 7 more. We're going to take this too, guys. There's a 2K counter animal card I believe we can cheat out if we ever need to, but I don't think it's really a great idea. I just have it in there for synergy, for like animal synergy. Okay, swing 5 into 3 here. Let's see what happens. We cheat out this little bear. We'll swing 6 into 6. Let's see if he saves it. We're going to play out a Chopper here and pass the turn. Okay, here we go. They're going to play out Pell. We do not like to see that. We don't like that. They're going to pop our 3-cost 4K Chopper for free with the effect of Pell, swinging 7 into 5. However, we do have a guard point, and that is going to ramp us a Dawn with our leader effect. You love to see it. Okay, now he's going 5 into 3. Yeah, that card's gone. I can't save that one. And now this next attack for 5, we need to counter out of no matter what. We'll give him the 3-cost 4K Chopper that can play out bodies. We've got 3 Divine Departures in hand, guys. I'm just saying, we have 3 Divine Departures in hand. But let's see what happens. We'll swing 7. So we swung 5 into 5. He counters out 7 into 5. He takes it 9 into 6. He's probably going to take this too unless he has exact counter power. That was a very devastating play there with Dragon. We got to get a card on the board with the 5K Chopper, cheating out a blocker Chopper. However, we know what Sanji can do. We know what the leader can do with Sanji. We have 3K counter in hand, which is not a lot. Okay, and it won't matter anyway because they're going to go -3, -2, pop a 3 here with Rayleigh. Yep, those cards are gone. I could not save those. Now, we can just flat out tap 6 and pop a Rayleigh in this situation. However, I think I would rather try to develop a board here, right? I think developing a board is slightly more important and getting my opponent low enough to try to win on the next turn. Because, guys, we're losing the game currently, right? We're currently losing the game. So I'm going to swing 7, swing 9, get him down to 2 life, so I have lethal within my grasp next turn. He plays out another Pell, guys. This is actually a horrible situation for us. They're going to play out the chopper blocker. They're going to swing for 5. We're obviously not going to let this one go through. We'll counter out. They're going to swing in for 8. And we might let this one through. No, it looks like we're going to counter, and then we're going to go +1 there. Okay, well, in this situation, I don't think we have a lot of options. I think we might just have to try to go for lethal, maybe try to go for the board. It seems a little crazy, though. Okay, let's see what happens here. I'm reading some stuff on my cards here. I'm like, how do I want to do this? How are we going to make this work? Okay, we'll go 10 into 6. So it looks like I am going to go for the board, guys. I'm going to go 10 into 6 here. That's probably going to cost the Pell. Okay, and now we can go 8 into 6, it looks like. 9 into 6. Okay, math is hard. And then we're going to play out the Rosinante here, trashing a search. Oh, man. Okay, that was the card I was looking for, by the way. It's the Shut Up and Come With Us card. Because remember, first of all, it ramps us a Dawn potentially in this deck early on. But even later in the game, we can cheat out blockers. We have 12 blockers in this deck that it can hit. We have 4 of the Tony Chopper you see on the board, 4 of the 2-cost Tony Chopper, or actually we might only have 2 of those, but whatever. And then we have 4 of this other card called Yokohama or Yokozuna, something like that. It's a little 3-cost animal blocker. Okay, and then we're going to pass the turn with 3 Dawn active. Okay, guys, we're going to pass the turn with 3 Dawn active from our Leader's Effect and the Rosinante. Here they go. They're going to play out Chaka. They're going to swing for 7. We're going to use the effect of the stage, or excuse me, first we're going to buff this, and then we're going to use the effect. There's the card, Yokozuna. And we were able to fully counter out of that 7k attack with Divine Departure. We have a blocker now. We're going to go ahead and cash in on the blocker immediately. And that's an animal character, by the way, guys. So it does have some synergy with the whole animal archetype. We're going to block out there, and now we have to go for game. Time to do some math, guys. So we have a 9k character. We have a 9k attack, a 6k attack, and a 5k attack, right? So that's 20,000 damage across 3 bodies, right? And then another 10,000 from Dawn. That's 30,000 power we can push into this attack. So the question is, do you want to go 10, 10, 10 or 9, 10, 11? Those are probably the only 2 options, unless you want to try to survive one turn and eat up the board, which I do not recommend. So I would say going 9, 10, 11 is probably your best bet. That's what I go with in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we're going to go 9. Like I said, I'm pretty sure after doing the math, it's like swing 9, swing 10, swing 11. Okay, 9k is coming in first. Let's see what happens. I probably should have swung for 9 on the Rosinante first, but oh well, it is what it is. Okay, swing 10. Some people might have even thought like maybe go like 9, 9, and then all in, because then you have options at other plays. And that's definitely a possibility. But right there, we were able to just barely get through, guys. They had exactly 10k. So I bet the Sanji was the card they got from their first life. And then getting to 10k, that was it. But at the same time, a 10k attack would have worked as well. Because let me see something, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that would have got through as well. So there might be some potential for this deck, guys. We got one more game. We got one more game versus Yellow Kid running this animal version, right? I almost said Animal Pirates version. Okay, speed is 2x. The volume is off, and here we go, guys. Yeah, this list is a lot of fun. I will say that right now. It's just a fun list. So we're going to swing in for 5 there, play out the Chopper blocker. I wanted to leave 1 Dawn as active for a specific card in my hand. Can you guys see the card I'm thinking of? Yeah. Then he's going to swing for 9. We're actually going to take the hit, but we're going to do a top 5 search, cheating out a Chopper and ramping a Dawn, and now it's our turn. So now he just was not able to interact with that card at all, because what happened, we get a Rosinante, we're fixing our hand, trashing the guard point to draw 2, we're swinging for 5, playing out the Chopper. We didn't have a card to cheat out with the Chopper, unfortunately. That would have been insane, and now we're coming in for 6. Your turn. They're untapping on their 6 Dawn turn now, guys. We just had a 6 Dawn turn, by the way, because of our ramp. And now, okay, they're coming in for 6. We're going to let that one go. That's fine. They play out a Gadatsu. Man, this list is even running Gadatsu. I feel like not many Useless Kid decks are running that, but maybe they are. I'm not sure. Okay, swing 6, swing 7, swing 9. Your turn. I have a blocker. We're going to stand up 3 Dawn, and here we go. I have a Divine Departure in hand I can ramp Dawn with as well. We're in a very, very strong position. We have there. Oh, that's the card, by the way. Let's go back real quick. And I was looking at what could be cheated out. This Yokozuna card, it's a 3-cost, 3,000 power, 1k counter blocker. And it has when opponent attacks, Dawn -1, return up to one of your opponent's characters that costs 2 or less to the owner's hand. The when opponent attack effect is not insane, but it's still something. And it's something you can cheat out with this character, right? This is a 3-cost, 4k, 1k counter chopper. On play up to one animal type character card with 3,000 power or less from your hand. So it is a cool interaction. We have two very relevant targets that are both blockers. Like we could cheat out the Yokozuna or the other Tony Chopper, the 2 costs I have on the board currently. So there is it is interesting. I'll say that. It's at least interesting. Okay, they're going to go 6 into 5 here. And we're going to take that. That's a little bit greedy, I'm not going to lie, but it looks like they might be all in here. We're going to use Divine Departure, Ramp of Dawn, and get out of that attack nicely. They have 6 Dawn left for the turn. They're going to play out Basil Hawkins, play out Shirahoshi, give their Basil Hawkins blocker. What do we do now, guys? I don't know. We're going to go face. I guess that's where we're going, is face. Let's see what happens. We're going to lose a life from that. There's another animal character, by the way, the Miss 13 and Miss Friday. I believe that's an animal character as well, and it's a 2k counter, so that's very nice. And we will show the deck list for this after this, okay? After this game. We're going to go 10 into 6. He'll probably give me the blocker here. I think it's the right call, to be honest, but we're not going to let him have that card. We're going to go 7 into 6 here. And then we're going to go 9 into 6. Unless he wants to 2k, he does not. We're going to pass the turn, stand 3 Dawn. Every time, being able to stand 3 Dawn, like, that's insane, guys. He doesn't know that we don't have any counters in hand, right? Or events, rather. He doesn't know that. So he's going to play out the ace to gain a life. And, okay, I mean, I still have potential lethal here, right, guys? I'm looking at potential lethal. So we're going to go swing 9, swing 9, swing 9, and then swing 11 or 12. I think that's the call here. Okay, swing 9. Let's see what happens. If he takes this, I'm just going to do another 9, right? I just want to get that card because that's a brick in hand. That card he just drew, I know it's a brick. So actually, we're going to go 10, and then it'll be 11. Watch this, guys. Watch this. I remember this game. This is the game I was talking about. Oh, you're the one who should disappear. Okay, plan B. We got plan B here. We're going to drop down some blockers, replace the Rosinante, swing in for 5. This should get a counter out of hand. Your turn. That was crazy. Okay, that was crazy. He got you're the one who should disappear. But we have 3 blockers. We have a life. We can't really stand Dawn anymore. We're going to 1k counter out of that. That means he's going to swing in. That means he's going to swing in with another ace, right? Or, yeah, with another ace. Well, I think we'll take this one. I think we should just take this one, go down to 1, and go for lethal this turn. Okay, but how crazy would it be, guys, if he had another you're the one who should disappear in his life? How crazy would that be, guys, if he had another you're the one who should disappear in his life? He did. He had another one, guys. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Okay, all right. We're still in control of the game. We're still in control. That's fine. I mean, we could have tried to go for lethal even still. I'm going to swing for 7 and see if it's worth it right here. If he counters out, then I'm not even going to go for it. Okay, he counters out. Okay, 3 cards in hand. Dropping a blocker. Your turn. I do have 1 guard point. I have a 2K and 2 1Ks in hand. So I have a combined 4 plus 3. I have 7K counter in hand. And 3 blockers on the board. But if he had dropped some... Well, no, this is... I was going to say if he dropped like Goldie Roger, but he obviously can't. Plays out ace, and here we go, guys. I actually have just enough to get out of this. I'm going to save it. So I'm going to counter out of this, and I'm going to fully get out of this so that way I can save my chopper in case I need one more attacker. And here we go. Swing for 7. Here, this will cost 2 cards out of his hand if he can get out of it. Basil Hawkins, draw 2, trash 1. Okay, all right. Now it's going to be swing for 9. Does he have another you're the one who should disappear? Okay, no more of those. Very good. We have swing for 9, and then we're going to swing in for, I think we'll swing for 7 right here. We'll swing for 9. GG to my opponent. We were laughing about that over in the comment section, guys, over in the little, where my head is, like behind my head where the comments are. It was like, are you kidding me? Like 2, you're the one who should disappears, chaining these aces together. That's got to mean the list is pretty decent, right? If I'm beating a Eustace Kid deck that's chaining 10-cost aces together, and I know it's not like, oh, well, this isn't the best Eustace Kid player. I know, okay. It's not about that. Guys, that's something I have to stress. Someone in my last video was saying, like, why are you making it seem like, which leader was it? I think it was Purple Yellow Croc I did yesterday. Someone was like, why are you playing this deck and pretending like it's competitive? It's like, dude, they're not competitive at first. You have to try to get them there, right? But whenever I say there's potential, it means like, hey, with enough support and with enough play testing, who knows? Maybe we can do something with these decks and make them work, right? Maybe we can take them to the next level. whatever the case is, I do think there might be some potential here. We'll have to see what happens over time. But man, was this list a lot of fun to play. Okay, now we're going to go over this list one more time. I'm going to tell you what kind of revisions I think should go in immediately with this deck, and then we'll go over to the animal version. So real quick, let me go ahead and get, I'm going to move Sugar, and I'm going to remove Goldie Roger right away. I'm sorry, if you want to run Goldie Roger, do it. I personally don't care for that card. I know it can just win games. I'm well aware, guys. I'm well aware that it can just simply win you a game. Just flat out, no other card could win you in that position that it could, right? But I just don't want it. I think it's a little too situational, and those niche positions where it's like, oh man, Goldie Roger would have won here. It's like, okay, but if I didn't have Goldie Roger, or if I had Goldie Roger in my deck, I might not have even gotten to this point if I had drawn that over a card I tech in. Like, for example, a card that I'm really thinking about going up in the place of the Goldie Roger that I just got rid of. Let me bring this up real quick. Event, where is Divine Departure? Yep. Like, I think the very first thing I would do after removing the Goldie Roger is going up Divine Departure. I think this card's just incredible. I think it's just really good. Another thing, too, is I'm going to go down these two Giolas, and I'm going up two Baby 5s. Let me type in Baby. Yeah, because I think this one is just more useful. I would rather trash a card from my hand, especially going against something like Blue, right? Blue's going to try to play a pudding against you. Okay, I'd rather just play out this little 3-cost 2K counter. Sure, bounce it back to my hand if you want to. It's a 2K counter. But on play, getting this out and trashing a card to ramp a Dawn, yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Like, I really liked this 2K counter, and there were times when, like during playtesting, where I was messing around with this idea. I'm not 100% sold on this card yet, but it is at least something searchable by Sugar. It's an event. It's one of the few events we can search in this deck with Sugar, right? We can't search any of the events in this deck with Sugar except this one. Excuse me. So that is a slight weakness in the design of this game currently, of this leader currently with red purple. It's like I can't search up these other events with my searcher. Speaking of which, I wonder if, let me type in Don Quixote. Here we go. So these are the only options we have. Actually, this is not one. Yeah. So this is a this is a Foxy Pirates event. So even though it came up, oh, my head's in the way. Y'all can't even see it anyway. I'm going to make my head smaller for a second. This one is a searchable event we can use, but this card we can't even get back with cards like Senior Pink. We can only get purple events back. So the only real option we have is obviously this one. God Thread is a little bit different, right? I mean, yes, we can get this back, but I don't think it's really what we're trying to do with this deck. But who knows? Maybe Splash has like a 2 of in the place of this one, maybe. But I prefer a defensive event. So I think the only other real option we have is this 3-cost event right here called Little Black Bears. It is a counter up to one of your characters or leaders gains plus 4,000 power. So it's a 3-cost 4K, which is not terrible. Because remember, guys, whenever you play down your Rosinante at 7 Dawn and above, you're getting 2 Dawn from this, and you're getting 1 Dawn from your leader. So you're going to very easily be able to get this while you have Rosinante down, and listen to the second part. Then if you have 7 or more Dawn, well, again, that's exactly what we're going for, right? If you have 7 or more Dawn on your field, and you have 5 or less cards in hand, you're going to be able to draw a card. My only complaint with this card is I wish it was a 5,000 power buff. That is actually my biggest complaint with this card, because this one is, right? And I guess that's the logic on why whoever made this version of the deck that we were playing today, it was someone from the East. I do not know who they are, but I got it off either gumgum.gg or onepiecetopdecks.com. We just paste the deck to see what people were messing around with, and I understand why they went with this one. I think it's just a little bit better. But let me see something. The triggers are the same. Add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it. I don't know if it comes in as active or not. Add up to 1 active Dawn to your Dawn deck. Okay, so yeah, I think what that trigger is supposed to say is, ramp a Dawn active. But this one, it's like, what would you rather do? Ramp a Dawn is active, or would you rather go plus 5,000 for 2 Dawn? It's hard to say. And I think that's the biggest problem with this card is because it costs 3, it's like I would rather just run, for 2 Dawn, I can do a 6,000 power, damage deduction across my opponent's board with a card like Hell's Judgment. So why wouldn't I just do that? But yeah, that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, we can't search for that card. If we add green to the Don Quixote Pirate stuff, guys, then it gets really interesting, because then we'd have access to a few other really good cards like Charleston. Up to 1 of your leader or characters gains plus 4,000 power for the battle. Then you may discard a card and set up to 3 of your Dawn as active. That could have been very interesting. This one, I don't remember this one. Beta Baton Meteora. 2 cost counter plus 4,000 power, then KO up to one of your opponent's rested cost 3 or less characters. That could have been really interesting. Oh, this card would be so good in here, guys, with all the standing we're doing. But who knows? With green-purple Dofi, this might be an insanely powerful card. It's basically another version of Noro. It's like an expensive version of Noro Beam Sword in a deck like this. Because think about it, guys. We can rest up to one of our opponent's leaders or characters of any cost and then pop a 6-cost character. So in other words, like say they swing in with a 5-cost character that's like a 5-cost 7K. Okay, I'm going to pay 5 if we have 5 Dawn, if we have 5 Dawn active. I'm going to pay 5. I'm going to rest your next biggest character, or whatever your biggest character is, and I'm going to pop the character attacking. The attack fizzles. It does not go through. So this would be incredible. And then we have Spiderweb. Yeah, this would have just been so good. And I cannot wait to mess with green-purple Dofi. Right, green-purple Dofi is going to be insanely fun. But again, I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to complain about this nonstop, guys. If you have to lock this card, do not lock it to purple. I wish they had locked it to Don Quixote events if that were the case. But I understand. I wish they hadn't locked it at all. Is this card that broken? You're going to go 5-cost 6K, no counter, and Dawn -1 to grab a 5-cost or lower event. Maybe make it a 2-cost or lower event at that point. I don't know. And then get back any color. Something like that. But I just really wish this card had not been statted the way it was. Or worded the way it was. Oh, well. All right, anyway. Here's another one. K up to one of your opponents rested. That'd be very interesting as well. But this is not Don Quixote Pirates. It just came up because it says don't get too close in the title. And I have DON in the search. Okay, anyway, let's get off the green stuff. Overall, I think the list is performing very well. So again, we went down 2 Giolas and went up 2 Viola. Maybe if you want to go 3 and 3, that might be a little better. It might be a little more versatile in that way. Love the Radical Beam, but at the same time, maybe that's what we do. Maybe we go 2 Divine Departures and 2 Radical Beams. Like, that is a very real consideration. Having the 1-cost 4K is massive. This one's running 4 Blast Breath because we can get those back with Senior Pink. But yeah, there's something to be said about this general spread here. Do some small adjustments here and there. But I do think this is set here in a pretty good way. If this is too many events for your liking, which I could understand, I could also see going up 2 dragons. Like in the list we're about to look at next for the animal version, ramping the dragon's pretty good, guys. I don't know if it's not as good as going into Doflamingo and then having one of these 5-cost characters to cheat out with the Doflamingo, but it's pretty strong. It's pretty good, right? So, good stuff here. That's about it, though. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. What direction are you thinking about taking your version of Red Purple Sugar? Okay, then we got one more list to look at. Again, what did I call this thing? I think it's 0 RP Sugar Pills. Yeah, here it is. All right, here it is, guys. Total insanity. Let me get my camera a little bigger real quick. This list is absolute insanity. It has the Animal Searcher theme where it can cheat out these cards with Tony Chopper to overwhelm your opponent. But at the same time, I think what we might do is add the Searcher. Add the Animal Searcher so we can search all these cards up. The 1-cost Dr. Kareha, I think her name is. Yeah, this one. Yeah, top 4 search. This looks up any Tony Chopper. Well, no, it only looks up Drum Kingdom. So that was the big problem, is I can't search these up with Dr. Kareha. Now this 3-cost 5K can cheat out any animal character that has 4,000 power or less. So this is actually very good. I could cheat out the Yokozuna if I need to, and I could cheat out. I mean, if I needed to, I guess I could cheat this card out, but why would I? It's not really that great. Activate main, trash this character and up to one of your characters with the Baroque Works. Add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set as active. Yeah, we're never ever going to need that. But I'm just saying, it is an option. It is an option, but it's mainly just a 2K counter in this deck. And I will say this, it is something we can cheat out with this, a cost 3 or less animal. We can put any of these animals into play from our hand, or excuse me, from the top of our deck with this event and ramped on with our leader effect. So really good stuff here. I think it's got some potential. I really like ramping to the dragon. I mean, we'll go first, right? Because we want to go on the odd curve anyway, so we can go, turn 1, potentially, I don't know. Turn 1's not really strong for us. That's what I'm saying. I do think we need to try to find some type of searcher. Like maybe we run Nami. I don't know. Whatever the case is, turn 1 pass. Turn 2, we can just slam down Tony Chopper or play out the 2-cost Chopper and sit on the event. We have a lot of options there, and then just go from there. And then turn 3, as long as we ramped at least once, we can get right into Dragon on turn 4. You know what I mean? Turn 3, we'll have a 6 Dawn play, maybe play out the Rosinante, and then, yeah, then we're off to the races. So fun stuff here. Very cool. The leader was way better than I thought, guys. This leader is way, way better than I gave it credit for. Red and purple are not really my favorite color combo. Not to say it's weak or anything. I just don't care for it. I'm more of a yellow player, and like I feel like purple is on the other side of the color spectrum in this game. Like I feel like yellow, I will play yellow purple. We played that in yesterday's video, right? Purple, yellow, croc. We'll take it. I'll play anything with yellow in it. But like something about purple I don't typically go for. Green, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Red and purple, or excuse me, green and purple, those are my least played colors. So you can imagine my hesitation with wanting to play green, purple, Dofi. But hey, we're still going to do it, guys. We're still going to have fun with it. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed, guys. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. This was a lot of fun. Remember, this was just the goofy list. Tell me what y'all think about this one. Does this have any potential? Which list do you like better? Are you working on your own list? Say it in the comment section below, or hop on the stream tonight, guys. We'll be streaming from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Okay, we do that Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So hop on and say, hey, let's talk about different decks and talk about all kinds of cool stuff. All right. Okay, I'm done. Let's go ahead and get out the playmat page. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, you know, submitting data for Red, Yellow, Sabo, whatever, you know, being a part of the community in whatever way, hopping on the Discord, you name it. Thank you guys so much. Big shout out to the VV Pirates playmat supporters. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel in that way, and hope you're enjoying your playmats. And then we got the YouTube members, guys. Thank you to everyone on here for becoming a member. Or you know, I know some people got it gifted to them. Hey, but we still take those. Thank you to everybody on here. Shout out to everybody on here. And then last but not least, the patrons page. Thank you to everybody on the VV Pirates patron page for just helping out, going above and beyond, keeping the channel afloat, keeping the dream alive. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. All right, I'm done. Till next time, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, guys. Peace.